Hello and welcome to a special Christmas edition of the Horror Debate. I am Chef Rowdy J. Kier, and with me, with the bells no less, is Michael Mandy.
Yes. We just got through watching last year, 2005's Santa's Sleigh, and that's S-L-A-Y, starring Goldberg, the wrestler.
Yes. I feel like I just watched a natural disaster take like a bunch of lives in front of my eyes.
But this had Goldberg in it, and you like that wrestling stuff.
Yeah, you know, I respect Goldberg. I respect his physicality and everything, but man, this movie couldn't have blown harder if, you know, I don't know what to say, man. I'm almost speechless on this one. You know, I had seen part of this on TBS. They were showing it. It was really cut up because, of course, they don't show a lot of gore. They don't have a lot of language on TBS. And and I was under the assumption that, you know, from what I had seen, and the movie was so cut up that it looked halfway, almost decent. And so I recommended that maybe we review this for the Christmas edition here. And I'm sorry, man.
Well, you know, I think we would have enjoyed it more if we were drinking more.
Yeah, if you're drunk, this movie might actually make sense. Yeah. You want to break down what plot there is for us here?
Well, you know, I was so surprised because the opening scene, it shows the nanny, Fran Drescher, James Caan, Corky Romano.
Yeah, a lot of big names.
And I was like, wow.
Rebecca Gayheart was in there. It was like, you know.
And Robert Culp.
Who's who, yeah.
And Dave Thomas, you know, from Second City TV, eh? You know, the McKinsey. Oh, boy. But the plot of this film, basically Santa Claus lost a bet 1,000 years ago. He was really a bad guy, and he lost the bet that made him stay away for 1,000 years. And through that 1,000 years, we've like changed the story to make Santa a good guy, but he's really a bad guy. And this is the year he comes back, and boy, is he pissed.
This movie makes me want to take down my Christmas decorations, man. I'm not sure that I you know, nothing makes me
want to turn off the DVD player.
Nothing in this movie worked, Mike. Nothing.
Nothing worked.
No acting, no character, nothing stood out. The child actors that they had, which weren't really child actors, they were teenagers. Right? Horrible acting. I mean, it's like they weren't even trying. I thought we were almost watching a parody of a comedy of a horror movie.
We were. What weren't we?
I guess so.
I thought it was.
I don't know what happened
come
here,
on,
man.
They weren't taking this movie seriously. Come on.
Well, I know we're not taking it seriously.
Santa Claus didn't have a reindeer. He had a big bison with a red nose.
Now, I have to say that part was kind of cool. I liked the bison. Okay.
He was throwing presents down the sleigh that were really bombs.
Yeah. Speaking of bombs,
how was this movie?
I just, like I said, no aspect of this movie worked. The visuals weren't even that great. I thought it was shot really. It looked really bad. It was too bright or something. There was no contrast to the picture. Everybody looked kind of washed out. Robert Culp may have been the most annoying character I've seen in 18 months.
I love Robert Culp. I love The Greatest American Hero.
Yeah, but he was the worst American actor in this movie.
Well, he couldn't figure out which accent to use, the American one or the Irish.
And you know you're watching a bad movie when like the camera's on Robert Culp and he's talking, right? And then the camera shifts to a different angle and the tone of his voice changes along with the camera change. It was like I don't know, man.
Maybe they didn't dub it all at the same time. It was like they used live sound.
Oh.
So when the camera moves, the microphone moved.
Terrible. Just terrible all the way around. I'm embarrassed to have you sit through this movie, man. This was my pick to review, and I'm going to fess up and admit that.
Wow.
This is the bomb, Mike.
Oh, I thought
in the wrong way.
Sure. You know what? I would give it a bomb, but I'm going to give it 1 star, believe it or not. And you know why? Because obviously...
Because you're nuts.
Well, yes. Because Dave Thomas was a preacher who went to a strip bar. No.
Yeah, you like that scene, right? I mean, obviously.
No, the point... That was funny when he asked the congregation, $dollar bills, please. No, $dollar bills.
Right.
And then you see where he's going to use the $dollar bills. No, just the fact that, come on, they knew they were making a stupid film. It was obvious this was tongue-in-cheek.
Right.
It was obvious that they wanted to make it as stupid and silly as possible.
But if this was a joke, I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. You know what's funny is that my kids actually love this movie. That's the funniest part of the whole
That's
thing.
who the audience was
We're-
for this
we're
film. Come on.
watching-
fans of Goldberg and fans of wrestling. Oh, it's right there.
No,
They've
not
got a
even
guy-
fans of Goldberg, man. I loved Goldberg in the ring. This movie blew. I mean, my kids come into the room halfway through the movie. We're sitting there watching it. They're cracking up over like every other line, and I'm sitting there looking at them, going, "What are they watching?
You gotta admit-
they can't be watching this movie."
You got to admit the funniest. No, seriously, something really funny is they have a Jewish guy named Goldberg playing Santa Claus, who goes into a Jewish delicatessen and kills the guy with the menorah.
Well, you know, somebody had to do it. I mean, it was just bad, man, all the way around. I don't know how you got a star out of this one, Mike.
Just because I knew they weren't taking it seriously, and it did have some silly moments. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, it was definitely silly, but you know me and silly. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that just doesn't work.
I was surprised. I thought you would love this film.
No, you know, I thought I would, and from what I saw of it, like I said originally, I thought that it had some redeeming value.
I thought you would think the Goldberg reference was redeeming.
Goldberg, honestly, you know, his acting, the way he delivered his lines was the worst. I mean, it was
He didn't have any lines. It was all.
No, he had lines. He spoke a few, and it was all like this. I have to read my lines because I have to deliver them like this.
Oh, the part.
It's like Roboberg, man. It was horrible.
Grandpa got run over by the reindeer.
He did indeed. Oh, you know what? That might be worth your star, just because Grandma got run over by the reindeer. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sticking with it, man. The bomb. Avoid.
Okay, all right. I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy Jeff, and we'll talk to you next time at the Horror Debate. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.